we only see so much of special teams when we're out there. So just can you give us some baseline impressions, what you've been pleased with, what maybe still needs to work on from that unit, what you've seen so far through, I guess, 10 practices now?
Yep. As far as the whole team or specialists as well? Okay. Just starting out kind of talking about our team, there's a huge buy-in with special teams, and that comes from the top down. Coach Silverfield's done a tremendous job of setting the tone, and we've got a great I love our special team staff. Coach Tillman, Coach Reinhardt, both guys have done a really good job and really connecting with the team. And then our assistant coaches do a really good job with our players. So there's a huge buy-in on special teams as far as a whole team aspect. And I really like what our guys do because they've done a good job of actually in meetings being very attentive, doing a really good job, and then taking it to the field. And, being minimal stuff that we have to reteach on the field. They've done a good job with that. As far as our specialist group, I really like our room. I think we got some really good competition going on in there. The guys at kicker, punter, and snapper, they're all guys that want to do well, want to compete, want to be the guy, but also at the same time, are cheering each other on. So I think we got really good camaraderie in there, and really looking forward to seeing what happens as we move forward.
Walk us through your mindset maybe as a special teams coach, because that's kind of I feel like across all other positions in football, like being aggressive is always like a very important mindset to have. But with special teams, sometimes like doing the fair catch, right, not returning the kick at the right time is very important. I mean, where do you balance maybe aggression and taking the ball at the 25, making sure you field it cleanly and all that? What do you balance with that?
Well, one, I think it's education to the guys. Like, making a fair catch on kickoff return or making a fair catch on punt return doesn't mean you're not attacking. We talk about it all the time. I'll give you an example, like the punt returner. You field the ball, you've already got the first down for the offense. You let the ball hit the ground and let it roll. We've now put our offense in a hard situation. And then, we get the guys that are not the punt returners, we get them in a mindset of, man, you got to work your butt off every single time we go out there, because if we get the kick we want, we can make the other team pay. Same thing on kickoff return. Like, we're going to have a go zone. Like, this is the zone where we will return the kick. If the ball's not kicked in that zone, then it's a fair catch. We're going to take the ball on the 25-yard line. Offense is going to be in a good position. What we're not going to do is hurt our team by being aggressive in a unsmart manner. Like, we're going to have rules. We're going to have, hey, this is where we return the ball. This is where we do these types of things. And I think you instill that early of, we have these parameters, and when a team gives you the opportunity that's in that parameter, that's when you attack and you really try to make them pay for it.
Coach, in a perfect world, how many scholarship kickers, kickoff specialists, punters, and long snappers do you like to have at one time on scholarship?
Perfect world. I'd like to have 100 kickers, 100 punters, 100 snappers. No. I think eventually what we would like to be able to get to is, 7 guys on the roster, 6 of them being compensated in some type of scholarship manner. I think that would be perfect world for us. Right now, I think with us and our team being that, you have previous guys that were on the team and then we brought guys in, it's probably a little bit all over the place right now. But I think perfect world, you'd want scholarship guys at the 2 deep with each spot.
Do you feel pretty good about the punt return and kick return situation right now?
I do. I think we've done a lot of work with the punt returners. We've done a lot of work with the kick returners. I think we are fielding the ball very well. I think we're catching the ball like we want to. I think we have not done as much work of full punt versus punt return or full kickoff versus kick return. It's been more fundamental stuff. I think we'll learn a little more as we start to do more of the full team stuff. But I like where it's at. I think we got some good guys. Sutton Smith has, done a really good job at punt returner and kick returner. If we were to play today, I think he would be the guy in both spots. but we have other guys that are doing a really, really awesome job there. Jamari Hawkins is a guy that can catch punts and kickoffs. Batten is a guy that can do both as well. A young guy that I think has a chance. We probably need to continue to work with him is Prevo. Prevo's a guy, but I think we've got guys that really can do a great job. Tay Lockett, don't let me forget him. He did a really good job in high school of punt returns, and Tay's a guy. One thing when you start putting defensive guys back there, you want to make sure they do a really good job with their ball security. We got to own the ball, and so Tay's a guy that catches the ball really well, but we got to continue to work with his ball security as we move forward.
I want to ask you specifically about the kicker Gilbert, just what your thoughts have been on him and what you're getting from him.
Max Gilbert's been really dialed in. He's been very impressive this spring. Now, obviously, if y'all write that and put that, and he sees it, I'm going to tell him he's only as good as his next kick, and that's the mentality he's got to have. But he's been very dialed in. He's been he seems to be very businesslike and on a mission. Really, really like where he's at right now. Coach Tillman's done a tremendous job with him as well. But I love the fact that he has college experience. I love the fact that he's been in big moments. And I love the fact that he has a mindset of, I am as only as good as my next kick. So really like how he's progressed.
Looking at your career, you've been on both sides of the ball, head coach, a little dabbling in special teams along the way, it looks like. But then about a decade ago, you took on special teams. Does it take a different mindset to say, I'm going to go to all those camps? I mean, is that what you have to do as a special teams coordinator?
Yeah, early on in my career, position coach and really on the recruiting side of things, I did a lot of recruiting coordinating type stuff and was a part of recruiting. As it kind of progressed, a guy that really got me involved in special teams was Coach Willie Fritz, and that was when Coach was the head coach at Georgia Southern, and just really loved how he did special teams. And I always had a goal of wanting to be a head football coach, and what I saw with that, because I watched how Coach Fritz kind of handled the special teams, and he was the head coach. He was not the special teams coordinator, but he was heavily involved in it. But I love the fact that the head coach, you get to, as the special teams coordinator, you get to touch the entire team. And I love that aspect of it. So I tried to kind of grow myself in that role, was able to get a special teams coordinator job at Georgia Southern, and really got, kind of interlocked with the entire team. And then it ended up leading to a head coaching job, which as the head coach, I continued to do special teams. And so spent a lot of time visiting with coaches, spend a lot of time, trying to understand what a kicker, punter, snapper looks like, because you got to do a tremendous job of evaluating them. A lot like the quarterback, you don't have a whole lot of room to miss on a guy. Like you got to go make sure you get the right guy. At other positions, maybe at running back, linebacker, whatever, you can take guys that maybe aren't all the way polished and really develop them. Whereas at kicker and punter, there's a little bit of room for development, but you don't have as many guys on the team. So spent a lot of time doing that, and trying to be in a position to where could make good decisions on that, but also have the ability to be a part of the whole team and be able to work with each position group and be a part. And then it led to being a head coach, which I thought was awesome. And then, get here, we got a really good special team situation set up. Coach Silverfield, like when he started talking to me about the job, he had a vision. He wanted to have 3 guys on staff dedicated to special teams. Luckily, he chose me, but we were able to get Dakota Tillman from Arkansas State, who's been a special teams coordinator, Coach Reinhardt, who was at Memphis with Coach Silverfield, and just the dedication piece. And then Coach is heavily involved in the special teams as well. Like he's in every meeting. He interjects, he talks, he coaches them on the field. Like it's a really good deal. So very fired up about our situation here.
Coach, I came in just a minute late, but have you been asked about the punter you just added yesterday?
Have not.
Could you walk us through kind of the process of identifying him and bringing him in kind of as a late addition?
Yeah, so early on when I got here, Gavin Rush, obviously was a redshirt freshman, has not kicked in or punted in a college game yet. Gavin was a guy that, didn't know a whole lot about other than, what he did in high school and all that. But as I got around him, see him, we could tell that he was very talented. And I think he definitely is an SEC starting punter, right? Connor Smith was added, prior to me getting here. And, Connor's very talented as well. Unfortunately, Connor had a injury, and it's going to put him out for the season. And so we then had to start looking, we do feel like Gavin's really good and can be good enough to be a starting SEC punter, but, you got to have depth. And so we started looking, and, who's still left in the transfer portal. Obviously, it being after everything going down with the initial transfer portal window. But we were able to find Jesse Elrich, who was at Cal Poly. He was in the transfer portal, and we were able to bring him on a visit. He's got a lot of game experience. I believe I'm going to be wrong on this, but I think he's got like 36 games of punting experience in college, which was big. He's talented. We think he's a guy that can come in and push Gavin. I think Gavin, because of where he's at in his career, he does need somebody to come in and compete with. But, I think Gavin can be our starter right now. I think he's really progressing well. Coach Tillman's done a really good job with him during spring ball. But we felt like, one, we needed a guy to come in and push Gavin, and then we also felt like we needed a guy that if he didn't beat out Gavin, it would be a solid backup for us as well. So really looking forward to getting Jesse here and letting him show what he can do. But it did help our room and help our depth.